Welcome to Anne Marie's Workshop. My name is Anne Marie, and this video is for small creators thinking about hosting their first online challenge. So, I love a sewing challenge. I know other people like different challenges, but I wanted to take you through my experience of hosting my first online sewing challenge, Sew Reversible 2023. There's a lot of things I learned and a lot of things I so enjoyed, and I'd love to share it with you. Now, first things first, I think there are 5 things you need to know before you decide to host an online challenge. One of them is your purpose. One of them is your budget. One of the things are your strategic planning. Another thing is a collaboration. And then finally, there's your reflection. The reason I say you need to know your purpose is because you need to know why you're hosting an online challenge. Are you trying to promote education? Are you doing it just for the fun of it? Are you trying to grow your channel? Are you looking for fellowship? Are you trying to promote your passion? Or are you pushing a product? Now, purpose is the single most issue that will determine your success. Now, for instance, if you love a bucket hat and you want everybody to make bucket hats so you can see the idea, that's a purpose. And if you know your purpose, being successful will be completely correlate to that purpose. Now, when I hosted Sew Reversible, my purpose was to facilitate people thinking about clothing in a reversible manner. I've always liked to make reversible clothes, and I always loved other people's challenges. It was like the best take-home project ever. Did I mention I was a former teacher? So when I was hosting my challenge, my number one purpose was to facilitate education. And then secondary was to promote fellowship. And then in third place was to grow the sewing community, because I love to sew and I want as many people to enjoy sewing as possible. Now, the next thing is budget. And I don't just mean money, I mean time. All right? Budget, time, and money are major factors in the execution of any project. As far as money goes, how much do you want to spend, or how little do you want to spend? How much time do you have, or how much time do you want to devote to this project? Now, I'll come back to budget later, because when I talk about collaboration. Now, the next thing you're going to need is some strategic planning. Having strategic planning will determine how you will be able to measure your success, how you will execute your vision, and how much joy you will find in this online challenge along the way. How long are you going to host your challenge for? A week, a month, a season? And then you also need to target your audience. Go inside your YouTube analytics and find out who's watching you. Like, I know my audience, a lot of them have gray hair, and I love it. So you can target your audience and figure out if your challenge will appeal to them. Also, what media platforms are you going to use to promote your challenge? There's so many. YouTube, of course, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and there's a bunch of other ones. So you have to decide how you're going to promote your challenge. Now, when you've started to plan, you have to figure out how long do you want to post. So suppose you set your challenge for a month. Are you going to post every day of the month? Are you going to post weekly? Are you going to post bi-weekly? It's up to you. You have to figure out. That goes into your budget. How much time do you have for this project? Now, if you're just talking about YouTube, how are you going to present it? Is it going to be videos, shorts, or in Instagram, are you going to do posts, reels? There's many things you can do. You can make this as big or as small as you want it to be. Now, with promoting your challenge, that will also link in with collaboration, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Let's talk about collaboration. Collaboration will take your vision to an expanded level. Collaboration will also link you in with like-minded creators who are on your side, and it creates fellowship and an expansion of your vision. When you start to collaborate, you'll be able to reach out to other creators for support, for wisdom, for acknowledgement. Now, sometimes you have to collaborate with people and you do not necessarily are in contact with them. Look at other creators who do the kind of things that you like to do. If they have hosted 5 million challenges or 2 challenges, see what they did and see if that's something you can replicate and then put your own voice on it. Now, here is where your collaboration meets your budget. If you shop at certain stores or shop on certain online sources and you have favorite products that you like to use, there's nothing wrong with reaching out to them with an email or a call to say, would they like to help sponsor your project? Now, you have to be broad-minded about this. Sometimes they may not want to sponsor you, but sometimes they will. All right? So there's nothing gained if you don't venture out there. And that's what the wonderful thing about doing an online challenge, it does expand your breadth of knowledge and your courage and your contact with your particular community. Now, after your challenge, you need to take a moment to reflect. Does this challenge work for you? Were you able to fit it in with your time? Did your challenge meet your expectations and outcome? Would you do it again? Were you able to fulfill your goals as well as your promises that you made to the people who participated in your challenge? Did you grow as a creator? Did you expand the knowledge on your platforms? How did you manage stress? Did you find this challenge stressful? What would you do differently the next time, if there's going to be a next time? Did you enhance your community? Would you do it again? Influenced you, and how did it help you grow? Now, saying that, let me share with you how I walk through my online challenge. Like I said before, I personally love an online sewing challenge. I don't necessarily sew for the need for more clothes. I have a lot of clothes and I have a lot of things, but I do love to sew. I kind of meditate when I sew. I love choosing different fabrics. I love the colors. I love the threads. I love the techniques. I love seeing what other people make. So when people issue a challenge, and I've been through a few, which I'll put over here, I'm energized to work with my cloth stash, with my knowledge. I've been sewing for over 50 years. So it enhances my life and I get jazzed about a challenge. I wanted to contribute to the community. My purpose was to expand the education around making reversible clothing. It could have been making stuffed elephants. It could have been how to make the best bucket hat. It could have been how to make just about anything. But I wanted to share that with my sewing community and my community at large. You never know who might be looking at your things and be inspired to sew or to create something. Now, if your purpose is to grow your brand, have more subscribers, that there's nothing wrong with that as well. It just wasn't my goal. You have to find your goal so you can know how you can tell if your challenge was a success or not. I had to do some strategic planning. I had to figure out how long I wanted my challenge to be, but I had plenty of hints on the internet. Most people set theirs for a month. Communities of creators tend to do a year-long thing, but I wasn't after doing that, so I did 1 month. It took me a little while to figure out I wanted to do it in August because there's other challenges that I really love participating in, and they were bookend. One was in July and one was in September, and I did not want to clash with their challenge. That's something to think about also. I decided to create videos, shorts, and I decided to post them on Instagram and YouTube. I didn't do Twitter. I didn't do some of the other ones because I needed to make this manageable for me. I'm a retiree and I do have a lot of spare time, but I also have commitments, and also I need to acknowledge myself. I don't want to be overly fatigued. My goal is the same goal I had when I used to coach soccer. I want to make sure that kids want to come back the next season, and I want to be able to make sure that I want to do another challenge. I don't want to burn myself out and then not do the challenge the next year. I would rather go small, go slow, and enjoy the ride. So like I said, I chose the familiar. I like to make videos. I love to teach through those videos. I like to make shorts because they're very nice to present an idea, less than a minute. The music's there for you. So I use my phone, and so I like making shorts as well. And it was a way that I could have something posted every day. So let's talk about every day. Like I said, once again, I don't want to make it so that I'm so overwhelmed. So in general, I usually post on Wednesday. I add to Friday sews on Friday. So that's my normal. And then sometimes I do a community blog on Sunday. So that's 3 days of the week. So really this challenge for a month was only adding 4 more posts, and that would be 60 more posts. Now, I wanted to make 4 of them or 8 of them like nice videos, sew-alongs, reflections on how to do different techniques and things like that. And then the rest I made shorts, just kind of showing the things that you could possibly make when you reverse clothing. That was manageable for me. That's how I did it. You're going to do it however works for you. Now let's talk about my collaborations. It takes a fair amount of courage to email or talk to someone on the telephone about supporting your challenge. I put my big girl panties on and I tracked down who was my major fabric dealer, and they said no. Wah, wah, wah. So that tied into my budget because I had budgeted a certain amount for the entire challenge. And so that meant I wasn't going to get the support in that way. So I knew what I could afford, so I moved on. I'll get them next year. All right, so then the next thing was that I did, I approached the pattern companies, the independent pattern companies, because I wanted to promote them the most. I approached them by email, and almost all of them was willing to give me a PDF. So because I feel like a PDF is very simple, it's just a computer file, they can send it off to you. Now, at first I asked for 10 PDFs from one company, and they were like, oh no, how about 3? And I was like, thank you, I'll take 3. So that came off well. They were willing to promote me on their channel, and thank you all so much. That was wonderful. So that built interest. Nothing jazzed me up more than when I was watching someone that's what I watch all the time anyway, and heard my name. And so that was wonderful as well. And that was one of the things that went towards satisfying my goal of fostering community within the sewing community. Now, here are some of the reflections. Ooh, let me go back to strategies. Being a school teacher, I always know that there needs to be accountability, cash, card, and commitment, or put your homework in my hand. So what I did was I wanted to make sure that the people who participated in my challenge received their prize. At present, I think there's one person, I don't know if they've received their prize yet. But I went back to check because nothing is worse than waiting for a prize and it doesn't show up. So I also wanted to create that back and forth, that community, that authentic ability to do what I say. Okay, so that was very, very important to me, and that was a measure of what I call successful. All right, as far as my reflections personally, I needed to find out, number one, did I meet my goals? Did I grow the community? Did I come up with something fun for people to do? Did I support them with a month of videos that went along with the challenge? And I was happy to say that I did. Also decided, did I need to renegotiate? Yes, I did, because I had to go back and check out, did everybody get their prizes? And if they didn't get their prizes, can I get their prizes to them? And so I had to follow up and renegotiate. I did not want anybody waiting for a prize that never came. Now, as far as I know, there's only one person that I don't know if they've gotten theirs yet. And that's because I went through Jamaica shipping. And so that's something that I learned for the next time. Now, one of the reflections is, did I grow as a creator? Yes, I did. I now I don't think I have any problem asking for a free pattern. As long as there's somebody that I patronize. If it's somebody I buy their patterns all the time, I don't think I'd have any problem next year asking for prizes to support my challenge next year. Another thing is, would I do it again next year? Yeah, I would, because I did it low tech, post office, fishing out of a bowl to pull names. I didn't do anything that was stressful for me. I did grow. I did 2 lives on Instagram. Who knew? I learned how to do a live on YouTube. I needed program and software, so that didn't work. I did learn that. And did I manage my stress? Yeah, I managed my stress because because what I was doing for this challenge was not that far off from what I do normally. And when I had my book, my plans on how things were gonna, once I planned how the month was gonna go out, what I was going to do, I broke it down to atomic steps, really small things that I could do every day or that I could do ahead of the challenge that made this challenge just a joy. And then the next thing, did I enhance my community? Yes, I met more people that I knew before. Oh my goodness, I loved viewing what people did with that reversible challenge. That is the number one thing that delighted me, to see what other people did. And that jazzes with my being a retired teacher and librarian. That's the kind of stuff I get into. So, and overall, I felt that my first online challenge was a huge success, because it fulfilled all the things I had posted in my goals. I think these are the kind of things that life are made of, finding like-minded people, doing like things, and being enchanted by the stuff that comes out from that. If you feel that an online challenge would do this sort of thing for you, if you're into something that we don't know about, teddy bears, bucket hats, pot holders, I don't know what your thing is, but if you're into something that you think there's a community out there, we're probably out here. We probably will give it a shot. Sometimes us creatives just like to make stuff and do things. So I hope that this helps you see how to break it down. I hope it helps you see the rewards of it. And I hope this encourages you to take a plunge and host an online sewing challenge.